Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to FM24 Youth Factory. This is episode number 2, also known as episode 48, for the continuation of our FM23 series. Thanks to FM24 now being capable of taking old saves and continuing them on in the new game, we get to experience all the new gameplay here. Please take a moment, drop down below, click that like button, leave a comment to help with that algorithm. It's important in the first 3 episodes. This is kind of the first 3 episodes. For those looking to see what FM24 is all about, it probably is. For those of you who have been following the series for a while, well, okay, fine, we're on episode 48. It's been ongoing for a long while, and as we get through this, we'll see more and more of the new content that the game provides. But a lot of it is in the match engine and or the tactical screen. We've already encountered that, and we're going to encounter a lot more of it. This episode is going to be more of a regular paced episode. We did our introduction last time. Hopefully you're caught up at this point. There might be a thing or two that is new otherwise, but let's push on at a more standard pace at this point. I've pushed forward 2 matches and into the month of April. We won both of those matches, but so did all of the teams around us, each of them claiming victory. None of them playing each other, and so there are no casualties. But we had a very good month, and Adekunle, one of our top players, has claimed Player of the Month. This is actually the very first time that we have had any type of accolade along these lines, because all of the lower tiers don't have them, or at least not in the database that we started the game with. Reaching the National League, we finally have monthly awards, and we've been named in Team of the Week many times. Almost weekly we get 1 player in there, but not always. Last week we had 2. Adekunle was one of them. But Adekunle, with 5 goals from 5 appearances and an assist and a 7.78 rating, the winger has done very well to earn himself Player of the Month award. Playing at home is going to be important for this match. Well, we aren't playing at home, really. We're an hour away from home, but it's still in front of a home crowd that had to travel a ways to support us, but still make up the vast majority of this crowd. Our position is unchanged, even though we've won both of those matches, because like I said, everyone around us has continually done the same thing. They've won their matches. And finally, we get a matchup of one of the top teams. And of course, it's us that's in that matchup. None of them have played each other at all in recent times over the last few matches. But today, we get yet another top team for the penultimate time this season, fortunately. After this, we have easy matches and one very difficult match left. But we're going to trail early on in this one as we do not defend that corner well. We have a challenge today in a number of areas, but that was just really poor defending from Adekunle on that header to get the first shot of the game into the back of the net. We do seem to have settled already as Atkins sends that ball for Kamara. We have a number of changes to the side. Those are the main challenges we're facing as we get taken down in the box for Davidson. That is going to be a penalty. Wow, that is a rough one, but it's certainly a takedown. I've talked about so many times over the course of my FM content about how you never see the penalty. But Davidson was taken down. You can see how he was tripped and he fell to his knees. That's never displayed. It's absolutely never displayed before. It's 1-1. Davidson converted on that penalty, and here's another big chance. He is just offside fractionally, half a body, maybe 1 step at most. But it's 1-1. There's only been 2 shots in the game, and both have gone in the back of the net. Our biggest factor today that is concerning is the loss of Berchielli. Greg is not who I would choose to start in his place. He is a backup. He is on the bench. He trains with the first team, but he's not first team worthy. I've got other players who I rely on much more heavily that I want to see more from. Our reserve goalkeeper, Sam Julian, also picked up an injury, so we lost both of them. And not for a short period of time. We may lose them for the remainder of the season or get them just back before the end of the season. That's a worry. That's a real concern. After those 2, there's a huge drop-off. in what's out there, and Greg kind of is right there with the other few options that we have besides himself. So there's two standouts, and those two standouts are not standing up. They're sitting down, sideline, injured. Second half gets underway, and I got the team really well fired up with the halftime talk. There are a few more options in those talks than there were a year ago, so that is one thing that's standing out, is there's a few different ways to interact with the team. There's lots of different ways to interact with players than there were previously, but not just. A lot of that is off the pitch conversations. This, for halftime on the pitch conversations, I didn't realize that there were some changes to that, so I'm happy to see it. Lay off for Mortland, laid off for Atkins. Atkins is going to take that one and beats the keeper, but it shoots straight up after hitting the crossbar. Comes right back down on the line, technically inbounds, and then bounces out. That one bounces off the wall, and Adekunle is going to set up for a corner kick here. We'll have to look at the set piece creator and see kind of what tactics that I have picked out for the team here, as it's so nice to have that option and be able to set that up properly. Mortland intercepts Hassel, Thornhill, Adekunle. Now Sumahoro back to Adekunle and down the sideline. Lays it off though. We play back into the middle. Davidson goes back deep though. Kitching with an injury. We need to get him out of here. Redknapp from close range. Blast that too high. And Chris Webb's going to come on in his place. Not great ratings. Sumahoro actually really struggling, but Davidson is that sub that would be going in. Lanahan. Seriously. Lanahan Penreese, who has been injured, is back and available, cleared to play. We'll bring him on for the final minutes, but losing Davidson sucks. And do we want to make one more sub while we're at it? Kasunga Matumbo for a somewhat struggling Adekunle. Yes, let's do it. Get those fresh legs on. They've only had 2 shots the entire game, so disappointing how poorly things went early on. Lanahan Penreese, nice through ball for Thornhill. Thornhill, not a terrible effort there, but that could have gone better. And it's going to finish in a draw, 1-1. If anything, we deserve more than that. We deserve to get the 3 points. I mean, we had a better than a goal, or almost better than a goal worth of XG compared to theirs. But 0.8 of it was the penalty. Clear penalty, but also a little fortunate because it was not a scoring chance. It was a clear takedown, but it was not in a scoring position at all. We also pick up an injury here, so a little worrying. We were slightly the better team today, but only just. So I think on balance, draw is probably about right. Just like that, we fall down a little bit as Bromley jumps to 3rd place. We fall to 4th, Gosport to 5th. Our key right now is to get into the top 3, being the top 2 teams that are going to get a first round bye and a second round semifinal home match. That's what we want. We don't want to be 1 point behind Bromley and then have to beat Weymouth and then have to go on the road to a Chelmsford or a Bromley. We'd like to skip that first round and then get to play home and have that advantage. Even if I just encountered one of those in real life a couple of days ago as a fan. Thorns season ticket holder, and went there, and we were in the home semifinal, dominated the game and lost 1-0. Dominated the game and saw yellow card after yellow card not get shown, saw red card, straight red card, clear goal scoring opportunity stopped, be given just a yellow. Saw 3 penalties, 2 penalties really, not be given, but open play, putting the ball in the back of the net, still responsibility on the players. As much as I was beyond angry at the referee, and my bias was very much a part of those decisions, but it was pretty clear. It was pretty damn clear. There was something in the works on that one. They got what they wanted. They got their team in the final that they wanted. And that's for the championship, not for promotion. If it's an out for a month, that should do it for the rest of the season for him, unless he is back for the playoffs, which we will be a part of, so at least there is that. But damn, I mean, come on. We've been the highest in the league most of the season. We finally got healthy, and we go right back to the top of the league for most injuries. And these are all starters, or at least first 11 plus 12th man. Our first and greatest prospect, who missed out on the Wonder Kids list, by the way. I don't know how he never made the Wonder Kids list, the top 50 Wonder Kids. Not once has he appeared on it. The new list just came out about a week ago in-game. I didn't show it to you, it was in between episodes, but we have yet to make a single player on that list. Now, I don't expect any of my players to make the list, but I expect my former players, the ones who then go to championship clubs and start playing for them, to make that list. Maybe they're just a fraction too old by the time they get there because they've got to be 19 and under. And that's probably the case more often than not, though we've lost plenty of players at 18 to those clubs. It's just the reputation isn't there until after they get there, and it's like they're a year too late. They're just a fraction too old by the time they become that player that would make that list. Well, anyway, our greatest player that we've ever had in terms of potential ability, Ethan McLaren, was also first, or one of the first we sold. He's on to his third club of his career now, and he's at Chelsea. He was leading Premier League last time we checked up on him. He is now considered world class and close to his full potential, with a transfer value well in excess of 100 million, potentially over 150 million dollars. This is the kind of talent we can produce here. Ethan McLaren, I believe, was in our very first intake. After that 1-1 draw with Gloucester, we find ourselves with just 5 matches left to play. Here's the good news. Wheelstone, 15th. Corinthian Casuals are 21st. Worthing is 18th. Sudbury is 19th. But sandwiched in the middle of those 5 games is league-leading Yeovil Town FC on the road. They hammered us at home earlier in the season. Now, we are a better team than we were then, but with the injuries that we have right now, that brings us down a peg. Against them, that's almost a sure loss. They are that good. But if we can come away with the other 4 all as victories, it means we are potentially securing 12 more points the rest of the way. We cannot be so unlucky that we are literally the only team of the top 6 that has to play another team in the top 6 over the final, well, let's see, 5 now and last 3. So, final 8 games. We can't be the only team that is stuck playing other teams in the top 6 over the final 8 games. Can't. Like, I'm not going to look at every one of their schedules, and actually we should get a title race or playoff race review here fairly soon in the next match or so, maybe even before the next match in between these two. It's still incredibly close, but dropping those 2 points hurts. Goal differential is very close amongst the 5 of us. Points are very close amongst the 5 of us. I should be able to score 12 more. Is that enough to secure a top 2 of the 5? Weymouth is not a threat. Weymouth is already out of this. It's down to just them for the last promotion playoff spot. They are the weak link. Whoever gets 4th place at least will get Weymouth and have that easier matchup, but that's still an extra game, and they're still a plus 27 goal differential. They are not a weak team. They've only lost 7 times this season. In fact, Chelmsford and Bromley have lost 3 times more than we have. And yet, here we are well behind them because we haven't been able to finish matches off, such as the last one, where we do outplay opponents and then we still come away with a draw. And we didn't significantly outplay them. We usually do by more, but it's those top opponents that we have trouble with. Everybody else, we tend to do, well, we have a pretty easy time. Can we steal a point on the road at Yeovil? Thinking probably not, but that's the next match we're going to try out. Let's see what happens in the next two, though. Despite the many hours and 50 gigabytes worth of storage space that I used to prepare and get all the player faces and the jerseys and the badges into the game and proper names into the game, despite all of that time and effort, release has just occurred. And with a brand new release, the workshop has only just opened, and therefore the skin that I usually use, which allows me to get the instant result, well, not yet posted, not yet available. And so I'm having to go on vacation to bypass games that should be a foregone conclusion and focus on the games that we have time to focus on. I have too much going on with my work schedule to not bypass games every once in a while. But man, oh man, we just got FM'd. We lost. On the road, okay, fine. Yes, on the road. But Wealdstone, 15th in the league, they just beat us 2-1. Okay, 2-1, not that bad, but XG, 0.67 to 3.5. They did outpossess us somehow, but what the heck? Our one goal was a penalty. How do we lose this? How do we get beat here? I don't know, but we got FM'd, and huge. Lost 3 points. How costly will that be? We bounce back with a dominating performance, 25-5 on the shots, and a very similar XG. This time 3-1 victors over Corinthian Casuals. In the meantime, sitting on 100 points, Yeovil, no surprise, have been crowned champions. That's the opponent we're about to go play. Will they opt for some younger players to help them develop and thus give us a chance? Will they take their foot off the gas now that they've gone over the line, and just over the line as champions with 3 to play? Well, we could sure use that opportunity, because at this point, Chelmsford, 6 ahead, look sure to stay in the top 2. Not guaranteed, not yet mathematically, but looking very likely to hold their position. Gloucester is 1 point ahead. Bromley is now level and just a couple goals behind. Gosport is 1 point behind. We really can't afford to slip up again over these last 3, and we look assured to with such a difficult opponent in Yeovil. But will they let up now that that title's won, and can we grab those points on the road? This is going to be a huge matchup for us. While it has not been the best of seasons for us, we've still been competitive, and we've put together something that others haven't been able to do, and that is a collection, a team of players who have done more than the majority of those in the league, and we end up with not 1, not 2, but 3 players named to the short list for Player of the Season. Ben Hassel, a center back. Lanahan Penreese, a winger, and Connor Mortland, a defensive mid, all named to the list. Torquay have another center back. There is a goalkeeper for Gosport, but otherwise it's all attacking players. So to have 2 of the 4 non-attacking players named to the short list here is pretty dang phenomenal. Can't vote for our own player, though, and I will vote for the most likely to take it. I don't think our players are really in contention for this. There are a couple of standouts, really big-time standouts, that have a huge edge over everyone else. Faal is the one we're going to go for. Not a lot of hope in this one. Yeovil have a massive advantage over everybody else in the league. They are significantly better, but that's not going to stop us from trying. Like I said moments ago, they've just wrapped up the title. They've got nothing left to play for. In fact, it looks like here we are pre-game helping them celebrate their championship. So, nice gesture from the team as they walk out as champions for the first time. Now, I know Koulibaly was listed as one of the best players in the league. He's probably third favorite to win the title. So he has gotten a start, so they haven't exactly given Youth a chance there. So far, so good. Possession is pretty equal. Our passing completion rates are a little bit better than theirs. Actually, almost the same. They're on the left, we're on the right. We have had a couple of corner kicks so far, but the game has gone very quickly towards the half-hour mark without highlights. Canceling each other out so far, and meanwhile, Chelmsford is winning their game quite comfortably. We finally get a highlight, 33 minutes in. Nice steal from Adekunle, but he gives it right back. Oh, he steals it again. Nice counter-attack on the move. He's got help. He finds Sumohoro inside, who lays it off for Atkins and earns the corner kick, but the keeper makes a nice save on that one. That was a nice counter-attack. Hassel wins that header, but straight at Hewitt. For a second, I thought he'd go for the kick save, but he's able to reach down, bend over, and grab that ball. That long ball. Mary's going to get there. We cover it off. Grigg. The Grigg effect. That's what happens when you're missing your goalkeepers, and the drop-off is massive to our third goalkeeper. We get the deflection. Can't blame Grigg much there, but Grigg actually makes that worse. That ball is heading out. We deflect it to go out. It's going to be a corner kick. But then Grigg falls on it and then knocks it inbounds where Koulibaly pounces on it. So nothing is happening the whole game until Grigg makes a huge mistake. As minor as it was very costly. Thornhill back to Sumohoro, and we should have leveled the score. Oh man, you cannot miss those chances in a game such as this. You're not going to get enough chances for that to happen. They get extremely lucky on their play based on what happens with Grigg, but is that Grigg's fault or is it just luck? Hard to say. Probably Grigg's fault. Either way, Koulibaly's right place, right time, and they score. We put together a very well orchestrated attack a couple of times, really, but one in particular, and then miss the chance. Can't do that and expect to get something, but I mean, you can see what happened with their goal. They picked up 0.91 XG for that. They had absolutely nothing until that moment, and the game didn't even start until that moment. The game didn't happen for a half an hour. There was not a shot for a half an hour, but now we trail by one in a very difficult circumstance. Full team motivated with the halftime talk, so let's see if we can get out here and exact some revenge on them. Atkins, good header there. Mortland is going to find Lanahan Penreese inside, who takes contact. Sumohoro beats his man, and Hewitt pushes that one aside. That looked like it was on target. So 1-0 still, but corner kick. Plays that off, and we stop the counterattack. Another corner kick for Akunle sometime later. McFadden free header over the crossbar. Brushes the top of the net on the backside of it. Another nice ball inside. We're going to recover. Kitching. Redknapp. Mortland. Hassel. This is the first start for Lanahan Penreese since coming back from his injury. Mortland switches to play to Atkins. We lay it off for Sumohoro, and that takes an instant deflection. Another corner kick. We've had a lot of them, and we are winning a lot of these headers. Hassel wins that one. Corner kicks were not a dangerous thing for me in the past. In the old version of Football Manager, you had to really, really micromanage to make use of set pieces, as that one saved off the line by the keeper, but still saved off the line. Mortland gets space inside of the crossbar. Inside. That thing is already partway across the line. How does that not come, or how does it come back out and not go in? Oh, we are all over them right now. We're going to switch to full attacking, whether they score here or not. That felt like an own goal, but they are the ones who got on it. McFadden clears it away. and then it ping-pong balls around, and Greg again. So that looks like it's us. That looks like it's us, but they celebrate it. Alador Hamlin. We're just not able to get a block, and now it's 2-0. And so unlucky again, because that ball just bouncing around. But each time, each goal, who's had a hand in it? Who's had the bad deflection that they didn't hang on to? Greg. Who's been there to make the stop, but couldn't keep it? Greg. He's got some reflexes, but he just lacks in every other way. Berchielli would have held on to both of those balls, and we'd still be at 0-0, still pressing on and actually controlling the game. And yet here we are, losing once again to the main rivals in the league. My man Penreese is having a terrible game, so let's bring on Wilkinson. We really lack options on the bench today with the injuries that we have. We're starting to get some of these guys back in there, but this is frustrating because we've played better than them. Sumhoro with the interception. Big chance here, maybe. Adekunle with the cross. Lanahan Penreese. Again, Hewitt saves the ball that's nearly over the line. Twice he's done that. We've had majority of the possession or momentum, but then they come out of nowhere and score. We've had so many set-piece chances. Mortland gets the block and the clearance. Love to see it. Not something you would have seen in old versions of the game. Mortland, nice control there. Starts the counterattack. We've got numbers. What's he going to do with it, though? He takes it all the way to the other end. Lays it off for Atkins inside. That's a really smart pass. Really dumb play from Atkins on immediately blasting it. And that's going to do it. We are going to lose. This time not getting outplayed by Yeovil. But, again, the question mark hangs over the head of Grigg. If it's Berchielli, does he hang on to both of those balls? I'm guessing that he does. We failed to score. We had many chances. We came close. We missed one big chance, but otherwise, we outplayed them. We did. Most of their XG came on that first one. Most of that XG was created as a tap-in off of Grigg's play. Subtract that 0.9 of XG, and we definitely outplayed them with a goal and a half worth to their one. If anybody should have scored 2 goals in this game, it would have been us. But, again, the Grigg effect. Did he cost us this game? Should it have been 0-0? Should it have been 1-0 in our favor? Well, the 1-0 is more of a woulda, shoulda, coulda. And then the stopping their goals came entirely down to Grigg, because we did shut them down. Otherwise, the other 10 players shut them down. Grigg's 2 mistakes gave them 2 golden opportunities, and they capitalized. We had a golden opportunity. We didn't capitalize. We created well, otherwise we did not get massively outplayed by them like last time. I think we just about edged this game outside of those 2, I think we have to call it mistakes from Grigg, not just bad luck. And so with just 2 to play, our chances of getting those top 2 playoff spots, 2nd or 3rd place, now not looking so good. Not looking good at all. We're 4 points behind Gloucester. In fact, we are out of reach of Chelmsford now, so that one's already impossible. And even just hanging on to 4th place and getting Weymouth first in the quarterfinals is looking a little iffy at that, as it's now just goal differential separating us from Bromley and Gosport. We have to win the next 2 just to keep 4th, really. The penultimate game brings total domination, and yet just a 1-0 victory. 17-2 on the shots, nearly 3 on the XG to a 0.08. And yet we squeak out the 3 points. But we do get the 3 points. Now, goal differential was a factor with those other 2 teams. So, have they closed the gap? Did they score better? Or did either of them drop points? Bromley has dropped points. So Bromley slips back, and with the goal differential, that nearly puts them out of the mix. Now it's just down to us and Gosport for that 4th position and the right to face Weymouth. Bromley, meanwhile, has also been slipping up of late, as not that long ago, They were about third place, maybe? Chelmsford's been in second for quite some time. We were in third off and on, but we were all the way down in fifth not that long ago. So we are in a better place than where we were previously. But Gloucester cannot be caught. We cannot overtake them. Therefore, now we are looking at a quarterfinals guaranteed with just a single match left to play here in the regular season. A victory, even at 1 goal, might be enough. Gosport 3 behind us. I think we might just about have that part covered off. Our next opponent, Sudbury, fortunately, is giving a huge sigh of relief right now as they have just secured safety. The math is finally in their favor and they are safe from relegation. Therefore, they no longer have anything to play for in this final match. That's a big step for us, as we very much still do and should be the better team to begin with. With victory in what ended up somehow being a fairly tight contest. Yes, we had majority of possession, but we only managed to get 8 shots in the entire match and didn't even get to 1 on the XG. That's a disappointing way to end the regular season, but with Wilkinson playing, I suppose that's can't be too surprising, as we definitely rested some players in this one, or so it would seem. Oh, come on. Sumahoro is missing the rest of the season. He is now done for us as a player, as he has broken his collarbone in the final regular match of the season. We are just getting back to healthy as Bercielli is back. The other injured players are now healthy once again. And we lose our primary goal scorer on the cusp of our promotion playoffs with 3 games to go to secure promotion, and we're going to have to now play all 3 of them without our guy who has scored nearly 30 goals this season. 10 since the signing deal, 18 coming back, but almost 30 overall for the year. But at least in claiming that victory, you can see Yeovil finished with 104 points and the championship. Chelmsford finished second, well clear in the end. Well clear. 6 points ahead of Gloucester, who lost at the end. We end up a single point behind Gloucester in 4th place. Gosport drop points, draw on the final day, keeping their 5th position. Bromley recovers some ground, but only finish in 6th, and Weymouth finish 74 points is not bad at all. 19 wins, 17 draws, just 10 losses for them. That is a team who is only marginally worse than where we are, just a 10 goal differential in between us. It's not like there's a massive drop off. However, if you've got to play in the quarterfinals, that's who you want to play, right? Bromley, much better. Gosport, much better. They have to play each other. So at least we get Weymouth. However, it still hurts that we've missed the automatic to the semis, only missing out by 1 point and a few goals. What could have been? I mean, there's so many opportunities. That December to January loss in form, where Sumahoro and Bercielli were mad because offers were coming in and we hadn't accepted until it got to a certain point. That all hurt. Sumahoro was second in goals this year with 27. Lanahan Penreese, 13 assists, ended up third on that list. We never had anybody on that list until late in the year. So we have been better offensively of late. Bercielli had the most shutouts. Our defense was good. But still, there was something missing at times. We enter the playoffs with just a single injury, but it's a pretty big one. A lot still yet to do, and it's going to take 3 games to earn promotion. 3 wins to earn promotion. Not the easiest thing at this stretch. We've won 25 out of 46, but the teams around us, 24, 25, 29, very similar. Not a big difference. And a lot of the teams in the playoff zone, well, all of the teams in the playoff zone have between 6 and 11 losses. None of us have lost that often. It's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. But I'm looking forward to the challenge. That's going to take place next episode. That's going to do it for this one. Again, little algorithm help. First 3 episodes of FM24 before we kind of reestablish our normal position and hopefully bring in some more audience members to this series to help keep it going for quite a while. If it wasn't so close to that turnover from FM23 to FM24, this series might have been on the chopping block, as the viewership wasn't that high compared to my other series. So hopefully we could pick those up. So that comment, that like, can go a long ways to help with the algorithm and bring some others in, and so that we can keep going strong. I'm really excited by this refresh of FM24 and get to see the changes. The match engine looks really nice. It's the biggest improvement to the match engine in over a decade, and yet the new match engine's coming in just 1 year, so really cool. And if things go well enough and we keep going, we can keep right on playing into FM25 even. That's so cool. I'm really having fun here. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.